For the longest time, the major German luxury car brands Mercedes, BMW, and Audi set the standard and blueprint for the luxury segment. But I think in recent times, a brand that has been properly challenging them is Genesis. They are a rather new luxury brand. Remember, it used to be a model in the Hyundai lineup that they spun off as its own separate luxury sub-brand, but they've been releasing hit after hit. Initially, they did have to play off the value proposition, offering similar features as the German luxury cars for a lower price point, but I think Genesis has matured now to the point where they don't quite have to rely on that. They are really competing head-to-head directly. You can also blame the German luxury brands for the existence of four-door coupes and coupe SUVs, because intrinsically, a four-door coupe just doesn't make sense. That's a contradiction, right? Coupes are two doors. What does it mean? Well, it's the sportier, sleeker looking options. We're looking at the BMW X6, the Audi A7 up to the RS7, these models that trade off practicality for a sexier look. And that's what one of these is. This is a Genesis GV80 Coupe, so less practical than a regular GV80, but a little bit swoopier and sleeker looking. And we're going to be spending a week living with it, and quite a bit of time actually, because we are taking this on a road trip to Chicago, so plenty of time to get familiar with this and see what it's like in the real world. This one specifically is the top of the line prestige black trim, and as appropriate is in a very nice metallic black paint with all the accents, badging, grille, wheels all blacked out. So this one's around $90,000. What is it like to live with? We're gonna find out. Here's a nice use case for the Genesis remote parking feature using the key fob. The Corvette needs to go on this side of the driveway to go in the garage, but I don't really feel like hopping in the Genesis to move it. I know I'm just being totally lazy, but it's a nice way to demonstrate. So I'm gonna go ahead and remote start. So it fires up. There's two buttons on the key fob, one for forward, one for backwards. So I'm gonna press and hold the backwards one. And this is very much trusting the Genesis system because I've got my Z06 there. But there we go. No need to get into the car, and we can just walk it straight back in the driveway. And then I'll be able to put the Corvette here on this side into the garage. Yep, keep going, keep going. You can go to the end of the driveway. This is actually kind of convenient. Remote control car. Now it's for if you have like a really tight parking space close to the wall, you need to just move it into the parking space or back it out without being able to open the door. But there we go, done. Turn it off. And then lock. Good to go. Now we can put the Corvette into the garage. Road trip time, so let's load up the Genesis. Let's see if this GV80 Coupe compromises too much on practicality. We do have this very nice suede cover back here. Oh, it folds instead of sliding. That's actually kind of nifty. It's like a tri-fold instead of, usually you have the cloth ones that slide forward. Feels much more solid. How much stuff do two people need for a weekend road trip? The answer is yes, a lot of stuff. Oh man. But we still have a good amount of space. The thing with the coupe version is the roofline comes back so much more aggressively. So you still have a good amount of cargo. I mean, the second row is still folded up, so you could put adults back there if needed. And you could probably cram a little bit more in there if you do some Tetris, but not bad. All right, let's hit the road. Road trip time. Heading to Chicago for the second weekend in a row. We're doing lots of Chicago-ing. Yes. And this time we're in the GV80, much more luxurious, because last week we took a Toyota Sequoia Capstone, which was nice, but that's a big body-on-frame truck. This is definitely smoother, quieter, very nice.
Is this not body-on-frame?
No, these are unibody.
Oh.
Yeah, body-on-frame is like truck-based.
Oh, okay.
It's where it's like the body is like one big piece versus like a flatter frame, and then they stick the body on top and it's like joined together.
So then what's unibody then?
Like it's one big casted piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a different type.
Why does this kind of sound the same to me?
It's like two Lego bricks being stacked on top of each other versus one big Lego brick cage thing. Anyways, GV80, I was just hand-fed charcuterie by my wife, which is luxury living. I am a lucky, lucky man. Thank you. Road trip snacks. And we'll be on the road for 4-ish hours, so let's see how we cruise along. This has highway driving assistant, so we have adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, and I think it also does assisted lane changes. That's the little arrows right there. So when everything's green, it's happy. And that's always very nice for road trips. Sit back, relax a little bit. I'm gonna turn on my Ergo Motion seat, which is the massage seat here. Comfortable stretch for the driver's side. I don't think the passenger gets one. Sorry, honey.
Okay.
No massage seat for you. Make it easier to get in.
But now you have to...
There we go. Just get in the car, it's okay. The car is a bit of a mess right now. We got wheat thins over here. They go right there. But loading it back up, night in the Airbnb in the suburbs. The back of the car, oh, don't look. Yeah, that's disaster. But this morning we went and did a Orange Theory fitness class.
It was my idea.
And then you didn't want to wake up and go.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go grab brunch for my younger brother's. Well, no, engagement party was last night. Now it's engagement brunch. But the GV80 has been a very, very nice road trip vehicle. Practical enough for two of us. We put my other brother in the back seat and he fit. It's just a mess right now. This is what happens on road trips. Cars never stay clean during road trips. What do you think about the GV80?
I like it.
You like it?
It's nice.
I had a couple people say it looks like a Bentley.
Really?
Which is a common, it's actually, when this first came out, Mikey's mom, Mrs. K,
Oh, really?
she was like, wait, is there a Bentley in the driveway? When it first came out, a lot of people were like, wow, this kind of resembles a Bentley Bentayga. It's the big like shield
does.
grille up front and then the logo with the wings.
similar.
Yeah, so some people were like, wait. And I think legitimately there were stories when they first launched a GV80, there were people trading in their Bentaygas for a GV80 and obviously some cash on top, but they're nice. After an extended weekend here in downtown Chicago, it is time to start heading home to Michigan. So let's wrap up some final thoughts on what it's been like to live with the GV80 Coupe. So Angel got to drive this thing for a couple days. I drove it pretty much the whole time coming out here on the freeway and around town. And I would say it's definitely a very, very nice luxury coupe SUV. What do you think, honey?
I like it. I feel like the steering is a little heavy though, and the interior doesn't quite match up to the luxury that I've experienced in the Lincoln Nautilus / Navigator. Like, I just like the really big screen.
So I'm going to challenge you right there because you said the interior does not match up to the luxury, and just the screen doesn't mean luxury, because the materials, the wood, the trim, the build quality here, I think is top tier with Genesis right now.
Okay, well, that's a fair statement, but to me, when I think of luxury, I
Yeah.
just think of the overall feel when you first enter the car,
Okay.
right? And so to me, I just like having a larger screen and to see all of the different, features that are just like right on the dash, right? To me, this is nice, but it is a smaller screen. I just
Yeah.
like the bigger screen, but interestingly for
Interesting.
me, I don't love not having a ton of buttons, and I feel like this is a little too cluttered for me. Like, it took a hot minute, like maybe 5 minutes for me to figure out how to kind of set like the air and the temperature and all of that here.
Okay.
And it is a little bit too, like I said, cluttered. And for me with my long fingernails, it was very difficult.
The lower touchscreen for climate.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't love this, but that's another kind of comment that I have.
Interesting. So people like you are the reason why all the luxury cars are going to just big touchscreens on the inside, I guess,
Well, I mean,
for
like,
infotainment.
I like the large screen, but also for the smaller kind of like controls, I
Yeah.
like buttons.
Okay.
So that's my preference.
So a lot of people are starting to hate the fact that I hate, like Mercedes, the new interior is just screen, screen, screen. This one here is a, I believe, 27-inch continuous OLED screen that Genesis has now, and it goes all the way across. I think this is a nice balance. You get the full digital cluster, and then you have your infotainment screen there. I hear you on the whole panoramic screen, what Angel was describing
Yeah.
as the Lincolns, like the Navigator most recently we spent time with, the big panoramic
so
screen all the way
nice.
forward.
Yeah.
So Lincoln has that. Who else? Cadillac has that now on the Escalade, and BMW I think they have that in the iX3, the big panoramic stream. So that's not a touchscreen because it's all the way forward.
Correct.
And it goes across the dash. Yeah. So I think you're kind of combining a couple different things.
Yeah, it's different because you're just able to visualize everything really nicely with the Lincoln, the way that the interior is displayed. But with driving this car, I do like the heads-up display. I think that's really neat, and the fact that you have navigation in the heads-up display as well. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Definitely really nice. I think Genesis is doing a great job with high quality interiors. Honestly, some of the new German luxury vehicles are lots of shiny black plastic, things creak and just don't feel
true.
quite as high quality. This
feels
now this is
substantial.
top of the line prestige black. So it's all this open pore black wooden trim across the entire interior. We have some really nice quilted black leather, suede headliner, nice sound system. The isolation's really good too. We have double pane windows, so like it's quiet, very quiet even on the freeway. It rides pretty comfortably given it's
Yeah.
on 22-inch wheels. It's not like air suspension floaty, but it's definitely more comfortable than the Sequoia Capstone we drove out last week.
Yeah. I guess I'm used to daily driving my Porsche Macan, so this feels a lot floatier in comparison.
Okay, yeah, that's some good feedback. A point of reference, Porsche Macan versus this. A cool thing is, I don't think I showed you the center caps with the Genesis logo and the little wings.
Yeah.
It stays upright.
Okay.
They're weighted, so even when the wheel is spinning, the logo doesn't spin. It stays floating.
Okay.
It's got floating center cap, which is a fun little detailed touch.
Yeah.
Fun other anecdotes from just being around friends. A lot of people were really, really impressed with the interior. People who know cars, Mikey, right? He was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
really nice. But the price still surprised him. So I think, even though, in my opinion, credential-wise and engineering-wise and design-wise, I think Genesis they can command the price point equal to the Germans. There may still be some public perception of the brand where they're still surprised that it costs just as much as one of the German options. Because when I told Mikey this thing was $90,000, he was like, wait, what? Right? Because that's like how much a GLE would cost. So it's not more expensive. A BMW X6 would be in this price range too. And maybe there's a little bit of public perception. But then on the flip side, we had some people literally were like, wait, was that a Bentley? Or it reminded them of a Bentley Bentayga. I think it has to do with the big shield grille and just the overall shape and proportions. As a coupe SUV, yes, there was definitely a hit on practicality out back. We were able to fit all of our luggage, our suitcases and everything, despite our best efforts to load this thing up with way too many things for just a long weekend. But the one downside is headroom in the back. My younger brother, Oliver, was back there. Ooh, very sunny. Was back there, and we're all kind of tall. Although he's a short one in the family. He's only like 5'11", and he was like, "Ooh, there might not be enough barely clearing headroom." So I haven't actually sat in the back quite yet. But I think if you're over 6 feet, that is one of the little sacrifices you make for that swoopy roof line. But up here, plenty nice. It definitely does look, I like the way it looks. I think the design, Genesis has been doing a great job. You get little quad exhaust tips out back too. The details are nice. I wouldn't order one in black, but this is a nice black, and when you get a prestige black edition, it's either black or white. You would get it in. You would get into probably the mineral white, the metallic
like white, yes.
Yeah. Angel likes more neutral colored ones, but this thing has been a really good road trip.
This black is nice.
The black is nice.
I mean, you already know what I'm going to say about this car and road tripping with the cup holders, right? Remember when we had our water and our coffee initially in the beginning?
Yeah.
And we weren't really able to fit. I mean, we were able to fit, obviously, two here, but then even on the sides, it was very difficult to squeeze this big tumbler, and like your large water bottle wouldn't actually sit into the cup holder.
Correct.
Nicely on the doors here.
The door pockets are not very practical. And the center console itself isn't this center console is tiny. I have a couple of my Toll iPass readers. There's 4, and they're pretty much just full. It's very, very shallow, and even somewhere to put my little handheld camera, my phone, sunglasses case. That's something where this doesn't have that packaging space. Imagine there's some mechanical bits maybe in there, a lot of controls here in the middle. But yeah, that I agree is a slight downside. What else? Powertrain. Oh, let's talk about the powertrain. This V6, it definitely is sufficient in power. In normal drive modes, there is a bit of laziness to it. You tip in, and it's like, come on, give me the power, give me the torque. On paper, it sounds really good, so we didn't really go into the sportier drive modes. That would definitely wake it up. More than sufficient power. I personally would love to see Genesis push into more of the performance space. I mentioned this a couple times in my previous Genesis pieces of content because they've got Magma now. That's their new performance brand. They're going endurance racing. They're going Le Mans. They are really pushing this whole performance thing. They might do a supercar. There's the Genesis wingback. And if they do performance version of the regular one, throw a twin turbo V8 under the hood here, yes please, that will be fun. I need to get left.
This is more comfortable than the car that we took out to Chicago last weekend. What was it again, hon?
That was a Toyota Sequoia capsule,
yeah,
because that was a body on frame truck platform.
Okay.
So definitely in Toyota versus Genesis, right, luxury brand. But you're right, this is way quieter, smoother, comfortable. But yeah, imagine this thing with a twin turbo V8 going up against X6M. Haha, that would be pretty cool. Navigating some downtown Chicago traffic. Fuel economy wise, we did around town, I saw in the 18s, like normal driving 18s on the freeway. We're in the low to mid 20s, and that was not trying to be efficient whatsoever. Loaded up 2 people in the car, cruise control set at around 80 miles an hour, just going with the flow of traffic the whole time. So low 20s-ish MPG, but you do need to run this thing on premium. So you are gonna have more expensive fuel costs for sure. It is a luxury vehicle after all. And pricing. I mentioned around $90,000, right? That is a lot of money, but I think you get a very, very nice experience, a very competitive warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. That is really good peace of mind. I genuinely think this interior, with the quality of the materials, design, I'm a big fan. The Bang & Olufsen sound system is good. We have soft closed doors. We have that Genesis remote park. I was actually using it a bunch,
cool,
showing my
yeah.
brothers, because we're in a bunch of tight parking structures downtown. We went to the Shed Aquarium today, and I would just like use the key fob to pull the car out, and we hopped in. And they were both like, oh. One of them, Oliver, was like, wait, but now you're gonna make like a 3-point turn to try to like, because it comes straight out of the space, and you gotta like wiggle to get your way along the aisle. He was being all Oliver as usual. But I like it. Now, value proposition, absolutely not. Competitive, I think so. In terms of the luxury experience, quiet, comfortable, smooth, great tech, enough luxury convenience features, things like that. I mean, I've got my Ergo Motion massage. I don't think you have one. It's only driver. But I mean, they're heated, cooled. Checks a lot of really nice boxes. Digital rearview mirror, suede headliner. Yeah. Any other final thoughts, honey? Spending many, many hours. It's good for you to take a nap.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really nice option. I feel like it is more of a sedan, though. To me, it doesn't feel as big, right? Oh,
hello,
what was
R8.
that?
That's a R8 V10 Plus.
Oh,
From
nice.
Montana. Man, he drove really, really far to get over here. That's a long road trip all the way from Montana. You know why it's actually Montana plates, right?
Yeah, I do know. I wasn't sure.
Angel has been educated
been
on why people
schooled.
run Montana plates.
I wasn't sure if you were being sarcastic
come
or not.
on. I paid sales tax on my R8, although back when I bought it, Illinois used to do where it's a private party was capped at like $1,500. So it doesn't matter how expensive the car was. Even if you bought it private party, it was like $1,500 in sales tax. So my Shelby and my R8 were $1,500, which legit saved a couple $1,000s. Anyways, what were we just talking about?
Final thoughts?
You think it's like kind of a sedan, which is.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't feel as large, which I guess it's not meant to because it's a crossover, right? It's a cross between a sedan and an SUV. Is
Yeah,
that the idea?
it's technically in the segment of a larger SUV. So this would compete with a BMW X6, a Porsche Cayenne Coupe, the Mercedes GLE Coupe.
But the Cayenne definitely is larger, no?
Same segment, same size.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is bigger. I think the roof line and the slightly sleeker proportions maybe is mentally.
Maybe that's why it's-
yeah.
yeah.
And then last week we were in a Sequoia, and then a week before that we were in a Navigator. So in comparison to those
Just feels
massive
smaller.
truck SUVs, this is lower, smaller, and so forth, right? So I think it's a really interesting perspective on it. Any other final thoughts, or is that it? You like?
I don't know. I like it. I just feel like the steering is a little bit heavier, though. I don't know what it is.
After you mentioned it, I could see. Yeah, it's a little.
Right?
It's got some weight to it. Yeah.
Yeah. In comparison to, I guess, the Porsche.
Your Porsche's lighter on the
I feel
Macan.
like it is.
These are all just electric. Actually, you're right. When I loaded through this corner, you can definitely feel a bit of weight.
Yeah.
I'm used to it compared to like sports cars. To me, like this is still
Maybe
relatively
this is just
light.
like a heavier car in comparison.
Yeah,
right?
all these things are tuning decisions that the manufacturers make.
Okay.
They decide because it's all electric assisted these days.
You know, I don't know if I love that, like the heavier steering and
Okay,
whatnot.
you like the light. You
I
did
like the
notice
lighter,
that.
yeah.
Well, I had you drive a 4Runner, and you weren't a big fan of it because, as you said, it felt a little more heavy and lumbering compared to a more nimble,
Yes.
lighter weight one.
Although
So-
I was surprised at how easy it was to drive that one.
Which one? The 4Runner?
Yeah, the or wait, what was the one where I drove it back when you were getting your Corvette serviced?
That was a Sequoia. Oh no, that was the Tundra TRD Pro. That was the Toyota pickup truck.
I was
remember?
surprised at how easy that one was
Yeah.
to drive, even though it was super big and just intimidating.
Yeah, we're bouncing all over the place right now, but we have 4 hours heading back home to Michigan. That'll conclude our final thoughts on living with the Genesis GV80 Coupe. I don't know if I filmed enough this week. We were kind of busy. Hello, Durango. My youngest brother got engaged, so we came out. All of our family were in Chicago. We ate lots and lots of good food, walked around a bit downtown, went to the Shed Aquarium, and yeah, we used the car to drive around. It was definitely good. Hello, semi-truck. Good road trip car, and ultimately it's not a huge difference from a regular GV80, which has been out for a couple years too. This is the Prestige Black, top tier trim. It's pretty much fully loaded. There's like, you pick your paint, and then I think that's like it. Accessories, it's fully loaded as equipped. They have that now across the lineup. We spent some time with the G90 Prestige Black. Whew, that is nice. Very excited to see what Genesis does with GV90, and of course their overall future is looking very bright, but hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Thanks for watching.